Live TV.
Good morning and welcome to the vibrant morning here in BTV Kenya. I'm your host Gagi Isaiah. Thank you so much, my dear viewers, for keeping tuned to BTV this Thursday. We are very much grateful once again. Thank you so much because of the feedbacks that we have been receiving from you. It has been awesome, and I don't want to forget to say thank you so much for your efforts to help us reach 5,000 subscribers this year 2025. We say kudos to you and we say thank you so much. Now, Vibrant Morning brings you what happens and what is in the People Daily newspaper, but we just give you the brief of what is in the People newspaper, as you will take the opportunity to read more wide and get to know what exactly is in the People Daily newspaper. Thank you so much once again. Remember, you can subscribe to our channel. Remember, you can also send a comment. Just visit our YouTube page, that is BTV Kenya. You can also visit our Facebook page, Blackman TV Kenya. You are free to send a comment so that we know where we are reaching you from. This is BTV, your home live television. Now let us get straight into what we are having in the People Daily newspaper. Now, looking onto the cover page of the People Daily newspaper, we see, I won't relent on my ambitions. I won't relent on my projects. Now, Ruto has declared, that is what is on the cover page. President William Ruto has declared that he will not relent on the projects that he started. That is part of the stories on the cover page. As we move, we also have effects of Trump's withdrawal from Paris Climate Agreement. That is also what we are seeing there on the cover page. And also we see why teachers want capitation to be revised. To be increased, sorry. That is also there in the People Daily newspaper. Now let us jump into page 2. What we see now on matters of education. Now we see Moi University gets a new university council to manage its affairs. You remember, Moi University has faced a lot of challenges in the year that ended, year 2024. Now, bad governance and culture of laxity have blamed for the woes that have bedeviled troubled institution. A story by Winston Cheseremi. Now, that is what brings us to what is famously known as Moi University. Now, the leadership has changed and a lot of issues has been raised. Please grab a copy and read more comprehensively. As we also see on the same page, Cabinet approves travel exemption for Africa. That story is by Alvin Swangi. Cabinet has approved a proposal to exempt travelers from all African countries from electronic travel authentication as part of efforts to support open skies policies and grow tourism. So that is going to be a plus for countries within the African to come into Kenya. You can also check that and read much comprehensively. Now, moving on to page 3, where we see clinicians suspend strike with ultimatums to the government. Over the past few days, we have witnessed clinicians striking and downing their tools, but we thank God they have reached conclusion and suspends their strike. That is a great move that we have seen the government doing in order to make sure that health facilities operate and works properly to help cater for the need of the Kenyan people. A story by George Kibaso. Please grab a copy of the People Daily newspaper and read that. And also we see a story here, why visitors can't resist Koriema's goat meat delicacy. Now that is in Baringo. The center in Baringo has gained popularity thanks to its naturally salted meat that visitors love. A story by Wycliffe Kipsang. So if you are in Baringo, I believe you can't miss the salty meat in Kariemas. Now that's also a story. You can grab a copy of People Daily newspaper and read much more comprehensively. Now moving on to the story which is on the cover page on page 4. Ruto vows to push ahead with Kenya Kwanza plans. Now in the 1 week tour that is ongoing in Western Kenya, head of state aims jabs at his deputy president Agua. He holds region in Western Kenya during a week-long tour. Now despite the challenges over word strong and also accusation, now the president has vowed to move on with the plans that he had with this government, that's the Kenya Kwanza government, to bring on all communities in the government. A story by Samuel Kariuki. Please remember, you can grab a copy and read that. Now we see also Kalonzo, a story by Rollins Otieno, where Kalonzo says abduction to end with Ruto's defeat in 2027. Now we see the former vice president Kalonzo Musyoka has foreseen that in 2027 is going to win the elections. Therefore, he says the abduction will only end when President William Ruto is out of the government after the 2027 elections. Now we see Kesha call for a review of student capitation in schools. Now we also see that head teachers lobby one state through the Ministry of Education to convene a stakeholders meeting soonest to review students capitation. That is part of what has been pushing learners. You can also check down a story by Mwangari Njuguna that is on page 5 of the People Daily newspaper. Grab a copy and read more comprehensively. Now moving into page 6, where we see Kenyan implores US president to reconsider stance on World Health Organization. We know since Trump got into power, he has planned and has put in order plans to withdraw from World Health Organization. But we know also that USA has been the great contributor to World Health Organization. Now, health officials call for collaborative efforts to fill the gap as US begins the process of withdrawal from World Health Organization. A story by George Kibaso. Please grab a copy and read much of that story. Now, on other stories on the same page, you see Cabinet adopts new approach to foreign policies. Story by Dennis Lubanga. Now, Cabinet sitting at Kakamega State Launch on Monday, January 11th, 2025, January 21st, 2025, approved integrating the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and that Security Sector Working Group under the medium-term expenditure framework, aligning its budget with its critical role in national security and international relations. Now that is what we see there. Grab a copy and read much of that story. And also we see Senate committee summons Kawira and board over advertised jobs. Now that is a story by Rollins Otieno. Senate National Cohesion and Integration Committee has summoned Meru Governor Kawira Mwangaza and the County Public Service Board to shed light on the state of Meru County. Now that is a story on page 7. You can grab a copy and read much more. What does withdrawal of US from Paris Agreement mean? That's also a story on the same page 7. Following the recent order by US President Donald Trump to withdraw from Paris Agreement, Power Shifts African Executive Director Mohamed Adow discussed the consequences of this climate rollbacks. A story by Miriam Murigi. You can also read that story and much more of what is happening. Moving on to page 8, where we see Rotary boss make a maternal health a basic human right. Now every child that comes into the world with a purpose, serving mothers and children is a noble act. Now the Rotary boss now want maternal health to be made a human right. You can also check that and read. Also, one remedy for lengthy surgery awaits in Nyanza. Neurosurgical cases among most costly medical process, making access to care a challenge for many. A story by Kefas Otieno and Noven Owiti. You can also read that story and much more from the People Daily newspaper. Now we move with speed to quote of the day and the cartoon of the day that is on page 10. Now what we see here is Governor Kawira Mwangaza wants to obey the law, but the Public Service Board just want to recruit without constitution, and they don't even know whether the funds are available. That's Mary County Secretary Kiambia Atheru says that. And also quote on Gladys Wanga Nyasuna, Homa Bay County Governor, says this is a community government. We are the government at the lowest level, and therefore we must support our people with bursaries at the point of need. That is when she was reacting on to what was announced in last week about governors not allowed to give bursaries. You can also check that. And also we see Nairobi Governor Sakaja, as part of our commitment to cleaning and upgrading the city, landlords within CBD will be required to repaint their buildings and install security lightings. That is what is there. And also we see on the cartoon of the day, we see the government is playing this game known as the dart, and they're trying to hit at the bull's eye, but most of the throws are hit on Shah outside bull's eye, and many has stabbed Wanjiku. You can also see that help us deduce what is in that particular cartoon of the day. Now, thought of the day from H.L. Mencken says there is always an easy solution to every problem, neat, plausible, and wrong. You can also deduce on that quote of the day. As we move with speed, to pages that we are having. Kanja, DCI chief to know fate over abducted 3. Now, police service authority moved to court seeking redress over judge's decision on IG culpability. Now, story by Alphonse Mungau. You can also grab a copy and read that story. Believe it is a story of matters of interest. Senior officers cited for contempt over last year's protest. A story by Alphonse Mungau from all the way from Mombasa. You can read that. Police to hold a man over wife's murder longer. Story by Caroline Kubwa. Please grab a copy and read that. Soldiers captured in 2016 by Al-Shabaab still alive. Now, you can also get that. According to Abdullahi Issa's family, the militants are willing to negotiate his release with the Kenyan government. A story by Wycliffe Kipsang. You can also check that and read much more of that story. Gender commissions to launch campaign to suppress violence. You can also get that and read much of that story and many more. Recycling farms reignite EV batteries, drives greener transition. Now, farms gives users more through recycling and repurposing the most expensive part of electric vehicles. That is story from Shinuha News. You can also get that and read more. Retired chief leads in environmental conservation. A story by Tony Wafula. All those in page 15 of the People Daily newspaper. Please remember, you can grab a copy of People Daily newspaper and read more comprehensively, exploring the link between our health and ecosystem. You can also read that story. The One Health view is based on premise that human health and ecosystem are linked. Story by Alberto Lenny. Please grab a copy and read much of that story. Now we're moving with speed to what we are having in other pages of the People Daily newspaper, and we move on to Business Hub, where we see expert push for stimulus package to boost economy. You can also check on that. Key recommendations including deferring the 1.5% housing levy for a year, deferring 1.5 housing levy for a year, impacting 1.9 million salaried employees. Some employees. That story by Noel Wandera. And also, investors urged to ride on rebounding financial markets. That's also a story you can grab to read. As redeemable reference, shares, debt, or equity. You can check that. Weetabix taps Kadogo economy with the new snack offerings. Now that's also part of what we have. Trump's 10% tariffs on Chinese import starts on February. You can also grab a copy of the People Daily newspaper and read of March. Trump molds 10% tariffs on China from February. That's what we just gave you there. It is also a story you can grab a copy and read. Infrastructure plan, state taps global partners, and that says Chinese government has also on the matters that are regarding the matters that are related actually to the standard gauge railway. You can also grab a copy and check on that story. Now we are grateful. We thank you so much for keeping tuned to BTV once again. Before we bring this to an end, let us jump on to more of what is there in the People Daily News sports. We are jumping on to sports, and today I'm beginning sports from the back page. Devils ready for Rangers. That was Manchester United ready to tackle on Rangers. Manchester United 6 bounce back after a shock Premier League defeat at Old Trafford on Sunday as they host in the Europa League Rangers. You can also check that and read. Let us hope. We don't know whether it will work for Manchester United. It has not been good. Martin Odegaard's path revisited. You can also check that. Norwegian star Real Madrid move revisited 10 years on and why he did not work out. You can also check that and read that news from Arsenal. You can check that and read. Pursuit hits boiling level. Pursuit has hit boiling level of a Man United TV ads to intrigue and how handling mounting pressure upon him. That's still on news on Manchester United. You can also check on that and read much of that story more comprehensively. Now we see, has MLS shed off its retirement league tag? That is lucrative American League recruitment is currently building for future going by the recent transfers. Now you can also check on that and read much of that story more comprehensively on matters of stock. Now coming into Kenya, Home Heroes host global star at All Kalau. That is also what you see there. Over 50 Japan-based athletes set to add flair to weekend's Nyandarua County Cross County Championship. That is great for our athletics in Kenya. And also double header at 2025 Wild Rugby Safari Rally. World Safari Rally is out there in 2025. Please grab that and also see what is new for the 2025 World Safari Rally Club. You can also check that and much more. Actually, that is all that is there in the matters of sports. And we'd like to say thank you so much for keeping tuned to BTV. Thank you so much for keeping tuned to Blackman TV. That is the vibrant morning, this morning of Thursday. We are grateful and we hope to see you and hear from you and get much of your comments as they roll in. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful Thursday. Please remember to grab a copy of People Daily newspaper and read more comprehensively. Thank you.
Welcome to Blackman Digital Graphics. We offer design, printing and branding services using large format printing, offset and digital printing. Our approach to printing, graphics design and branding is top-notch with quality services including roll-up banners, street banners, teardrops, reflective banners, telescope banners, vehicle branding, road signages, mugs, badges, t-shirts, polo shirts, hoodies, pens, letterheads, business cards, envelopes, receipt books, brochures, flyers, posters, calendars, magazines, wedding cards, plastic ID cards, funeral programs, and many more. We also have indoor and outdoor videography, photography and live streaming services. Visit us at our Migori Market, Onyinjo Bridge, Tiendege Stage offices. Call or WhatsApp us through 0721 379308 or 0736 352224. Connect with us on YouTube and Facebook at Blackman TV. We are on TikTok as BTV Kenya, and also Blackman Studios on Facebook as well. Blackman Digital Graphics, quality you can trust.
This is BTV Kenya, your home live TV.